I love films. I love films more than I love myself. Growing up, I've always loved the whole idea of filmmaking and storytelling. I watched a lot of films throughout my entire miserable life, but even more so during the pandemic because it's the only way for me to be able to distract myself from. Anyway, I also spend most of my time watching film related video essays on YouTube, which inspired me to start this series called What I Watched This Month, or something like that. But it is basically a monthly recap of all the films I've watched and my spoiler free opinions of them. This concept is obviously not something that I came up with on my own. Even a lot of YouTubers have done it. I've been wanting to do this series for a very long time, but I've been busy dealing with other more important things like um I started the month by revisiting this panic attack of a film starring Edward Cullen himself, Robert Pattinson. Good Time is a film written and directed by Josh and Benny Safdie. It is essentially one long chase movie. Director Benny Safdie plays Nick, a disabled man in therapy who's just beginning to engage with his doctor but then was interrupted by his brother Connie. Connie breaks Nick out and insists that he needs his brother for a bank heist. But you have the sense that Connie needs Nick around on a much deeper and more fundamental level. His entire personality is hinged on a lifelong duty to protect his brother. When disaster follows them, Connie tries to reunite with Nick by increasingly dubious means. From one bad decision tumbles steadily worse consequences as Connie tries to hit up a troubled girlfriend for bill money and scams his way into family home. The simplest way I can describe this film is imagine having a panic attack, times it by 100. The Safdie brothers really know how to give the viewers an unhealthy dose of anxiety. This film is so stressful that when I first watched it back in 2017, I had to use my inhaler multiple times. The Safdie brothers' skills at shaping this nerve-wracking story into something watchable is undeniable, but I'm not sure this film would work as well without Robert in it. This is arguably his best performance yet, in my opinion.
Look, losers like you are incapable of taking care of themselves. You're either leeching off mommy, or leeching off welfare, or living off the government in jail. That's you!
You don't know the first thing about me, bro.
What's to know? What's to know? You serve absolutely no function whatsoever. It's pathetic.
He is impossible to ignore from his very first scene, expressing Connie's ability to only keep digging himself deeper and deeper into trouble. Not to mention how this film is propelled by a pounding, electrifying score from 103 Point Never. So, bonus points for that. Who knew it was possible for a film to make you feel as if you're going to die minute by minute? This film is brutal at times, but it's also wildly exciting. The Mitchells vs. the Machines was originally set for a theatrical release before settling on Netflix. I remember back when COVID wasn't a thing, I was in theaters and the original teaser trailer came out during the preview. I was like, oh wow, another movie about how bad the internet and social media is. Because at the time, Sony attempted to explore more internet/social media driven plots in their animations. You know, like even Disney dives into this trend with the Wreck-It Ralph sequel to make it somewhat more appealing to kids in today's generation. Did it work? Maybe. And now the Space Jam reboot too, which is so... The Mitchells vs. the Machines was produced by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the creative minds behind the Lego Movie. The film follows the story of Katie as she prepares to leave her quote-unquote dysfunctional family for film college. A teenager that's totally misunderstood by her dad, she cannot wait for a fresh new start. However, her dad, Rick, sabotages her plan and swaps flights for a family road trip.
Wait, why do you need all that to take me to the airport?
I messed things up last night, but I'm gonna make it up to you. I canceled your plane ticket to college.
You what?
Then, to top it all off, tech company PAL launches a new line of robots that swiftly kidnap all of mankind and begin their plan to take over the world. What follows is the Mitchell family's bid for survival and a plan to take down their new overlords. The family is also made up of Linda, Aaron, and one very dumb dog.
Watch. Catch a cupcake. You'll get it, buddy.
It seems apparent to me that when looking back on animation films as a whole, there will always be a clear distinction to a time before Spider-Verse and after Spider-Verse. The animation is truly spectacular. The character designs are incredibly distinctive and give the characters so much personality, leading to some very humorous facial reactions. Much like Spider-Verse, The Mitchells vs. the Machines embraces stylization instead of photorealism. The character designs and surroundings are exaggerated in classic comic cartoon fashion, which looks stunning. It is overall a great film and moving in the most unexpected way, I guess. This film absolutely nails the family dynamics, falling into some overdone cliches while staying pretty fresh. This film achieves a nice middle point between phone bad and family good. It is genuinely heartwarming and also hilarious. Well, maybe some parts are a bit cringe and some of the internet things / memes already feel so dated. So, it is what it is. Despite my initial concerns though, this film is just lovely and silly, but with real heart as well.
They should be coming by.
Where's your rope, Ignacio?
It was stinky, but these are my recreation clothes.
I rewatched Nacho Libre because why not? As a film, it's nothing too special, but it is one of those timeless childhood classics that I used to always watch when I was a kid. If you are not familiar with this film, it is about Ignacio, aka Nacho, who cooks for friars and orphans by the day at a Mexican monastery and dons a mask and jumps into a wrestling ring by night. This far-out comedic fairy tale is about a man who doesn't fit in anywhere and yearns for some respect from people. This film is directed by Jared Haas, made famous by his cult hit Napoleon Dynamite. Nacho Libre shares some of the same awkwardness of dialogue as the previous film, but it is not quite as funny and entertaining the second time around. Some of the scenes don't even advance the plot, and seem more like excuses for Jack Black to be entertaining than to fit seamlessly into the flow of the film. Jared Haas is just as effective a visual stylist as Wes Anderson. This is the film Wes Anderson wishes he could make. No, I'm just kidding. But the film is very well shot though. The composition is great, the color palette is refreshing. It's just a pleasing film to look at.
And I just thought it would be a good idea if you... Felicidades.
Nacho Libre is a deeply dumb and sometimes funny movie, which in itself is not a bad thing. This film is definitely way more entertaining than anything WWE has done recently.
Yes, it's true. I am Nacho, the luchador. Nacho!
Not a complete miss, but a very hit or miss film nonetheless. If you're looking for fart jokes and racial stereotypes, then this film is for you. Yet again, another film about social media culture, but this time starring Mr. Spider-Man himself, Andrew Garfield. It is a film directed by Gia Coppola, the granddaughter of the infamous Francis Ford Coppola. So this should be good, right? Mainstream is the typical showbiz rise and fall narrative, but filled with people who constantly remind you to like, comment, and subscribe at the end of their videos. Or should I say, influencers. The film follows Frankie, a bartender played by Maya Hawke, who wants to be a YouTuber. Frankie happens to meet Link, an eccentric performer who works odd jobs around Los Angeles. Together with Frankie's friend Jake, played by Ned Wolf, the trio make YouTube videos starring Link, which become bigger and bigger as they get more popular. This film's intention is to serve as a huge satire of annoying social media influencers like Jake Paul, but I knew this film would never work in the first place when I saw Jake Paul himself in the trailer. If you include the main target of your satire in the joke, the satire completely fails. The only positive thing from this film is Andrew Garfield's performance. He completely takes over the film whenever he's on screen. His performance as the energetic, annoying, and eccentric influencer is honestly incredible. He transforms over the course of the movie, taking the audience along with him in his descent into social media stardom.
Everybody's miserable. Everybody's so sad. Why is everyone so... It's a game show. It's fun.
He's the only reason I kept watching this film, as he elevates the overall watching experience.
I'm worthless. I hate myself. I'm no one special.
Cut. That was great.
Mainstream is an interesting film to say the least. It is a film that has a lot to say and nothing to say. Even with great performances, the film still comes out somewhat cringy and pretentious, especially with the plot. This film has several messages that it conveys about influencers, the viewers, cancel culture, and how the internet corrupts people. Although the messages themselves aren't bad, they are delivered rather forcefully and end up not being as impactful. Bo Burnham's debut film 8th Grade explores the same topic too, but he handled it way much better. Speaking of Bo, I finished off the month by watching Bo Burnham's latest comedy special, Inside. And dude, oh my god. If you're not familiar with Bo Burnham, he's one of the most creative and refreshing comedians today. He is such an amazing and talented human being. Please watch his previous stand-up specials if you haven't. You'll get a rough idea on what kind of individual Bo is and how he delivers and executes his jokes. I'll try not to say too much about this comedy special because I think you'll get an even better watching experience if you don't know what is going on. But I can say that it was incredible. I cannot comprehend the amount of talent and effort to produce, direct, and edit everything. Like seriously, look at the credits. As much as Bo likes to clown himself for being pretentious, this special was the opposite of it. It's just plain brutal honesty that a lot of us feel about the current state of the world right now. From Bo, I expected both comedy and some dark shit, and both expectations exceeded. To be honest, it was a very difficult watch for me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but man are things bleak. Normally, Bo strikes a pretty amazing balance between comedy and real things, but this one leans more toward the darker side. This special left me both annihilated and seen, and I don't know which one is better. Inside is his best work yet, in my opinion. If you're into self-deprecating humor, you'll definitely appreciate this special. But even if you aren't, do me a favor and watch his new comedy special. It is available to stream on Netflix. So, yeah, those are some of the films I watched last month. And oh wow, you made it till the end of this episode. I don't know how you managed to sit through listening to my annoying monotone voice, but thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, dislike, report. I don't know, just do something.